on to another episode of the Holistic Cannabis Show, where I am your hostess, Dr. Yolanda Henderson, and always joined by my wonderful co-host and Ego.
One time in the background. One time in the background.
One time in the background.
That's my real name. One time in the background.
One time in the background. Well,
once upon a time.
Snap to that. One time in the background. All right. We have a wonderful topic for the show today. Of course, if this is your first time watching the show, we'd like for you to share the show, click like on our show, or love with the heart. We love that as well. And Mr. One Time for the background can tell you all the outlets to watch the show.
Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku, everything you do is on Manifest TV, Status Network, Holistic Cannabis Show. Want to call in, phone a friend, need a helpline, 470-251-4647.
That's right. I can't make this up, y'all. This comedian right here is sitting next to me. All right. So thank you for that, Mr. Background. What was it? What was the whole name? I can't remember.
One time for the background.
For the background. Okay. All right. So of course you all know that we have the month of March being the official month for women. Yes, us women, we deserve our month. And so Women in History is great. Having someone here today, we're going to have a special guest who's going to represent the cannabis woman in history, and we're going to talk to her after a little short moment. But first, we want to shout out to our birthdays for the month of March. We have my wonderful auntie Ruby. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Auntie Ruby.
Auntie Ruby, she has been a special woman to millions and tons. I want to say millions because I don't know if she know that many people, but tons and tons of people and women. I believe she mentored women. She have young ladies love her. I mean, everybody love her. Have you ever met somebody that everybody loves? She is just that woman. Like, I don't think she's ever caused an issue with anyone, and if there, I mean, she's just awesome like that. So I love you, Auntie Ruby, and I hope you had a great birthday, which I saw the surprise for your 65th birthday party. So that is something that we want to celebrate with you and just let you know that we love you all the way from Georgia. All right, so we have a lot going on again this month, being Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month as well. So we want to shout out to those who either suffer with MS or those who care for a person with MS, letting us all know that this is burdensome to everybody, especially those who suffer with it. So we just want to be aware of what that entails as well. So we're going to talk about that briefly in a moment as well. But we want to shout out Big Shot Entertainment and Mr. One Time for the background with having his awesome promotion of his contest for the artists who are interested. You want to elaborate a little bit about that?
Well, we got this little thing going on, and with this little thing going on, it will enable the artists to be able to have distribution on major network like Sony, all platforms of Sony, video games, movies. You have the opportunity to have your music featured in Sony Pictures. You have your opportunity to be involved, and it could go as far as you want to take it. Sony is a global distribution deal that I've been cultivating for a whole long minute. So I just want my people to know that you don't always have to be a rapper or a singer to have your music placed. You can have your music placed on the next Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah.
And make a whole lot of money that way.
Yeah.
All right. You can have your music placed on Sony Pictures. Sony
That's
makes
right.
movies. You can have your music placed there, right? So I just want all the young folks to know, man, that just because you got a talent to rap does not mean that your career have to be rapper.
There you go.
All right. So we also running another thing where we're looking for somebody who can come up with the lyrics for our show.
That's right.
The Holistic Cannabis Show. So definitely everybody or the winner for that will get to have a chance to perform what the lyrics they came up with. Of course, you'll be on the show and all that good old thing. All right. Big Shot Entertainment at gmail.com. This is where you can find it. 888-959-2093 is how you can find it.
And on Eventbrite. So
And on Eventbrite.
look for the
Find
Holistic
it.
Cannabis Show or Big Shot Entertainment contest on Eventbrite. All right. So
There you go.
there you go. Book your performance slots. The Atlanta Metro Fest. That's by our producer, and they're having this big old performance and fest for Atlanta. So if you are interested in performing, please reach out by text. And the date is Sunday, April the 14th from 12 p.m. until 8 p.m. So that is going to be a great concert and car show. All right. So the State of Cannabis and Hemp 2022, I was on the panel for that year. This year they have called me back out in order to do and explain what's going on in the cannabis hemp industry. And this is the Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce who's going to be having this discussion and this panel because business matters in cannabis. And we want to see and we want to be able to tell them what the cause and effect has been since the last time we spoke to them about the cannabis industry. And do I have a lot to say about businesses in the cannabis industry versus any other business that is doing business out here. All right, so please tune in to that. And that is going to be announced again later on. It's next month. So stay tuned. And we want to see you there on this call. All right. So this is the Holistic Cannabis Show. And I always have a topic. So this week's topic is going to be the cannabis in social life. How much of your social life can you depend on when you're talking about cannabis? So we have Social Saturdays that's coming up here in Atlanta with our founder, one of our founders of Cannaglobe, Miss Tammy Faye, and also the new brand winner. She's got her own brand through Cannaglobe, and she's going to be joined by Miss Stephanie Scott of Cannaglobe. She's a regional VDO, or virtual dispensary owner, and we are getting together here in Atlanta, Smyrna area, to have events. So we have social events, and we want you all to come out and take a part of what we are doing. And this is a Cannabis Biz, again, the Green Rush edition, and that's every Sunday. This past Sunday was our St. Patrick's Day. So just stay tuned for more information on the Holistic Cannabis Show about those events. We will be posting those in the future going forward every week before time, so they give you enough time to get prepared to come out and have social activities with us. Now, socializing did consist of having some wings this past week. We finally got our bag of wings, and our not bag of wings, but our bag of chicken fry batter that is infused with the hemp derived THC technology. So Mr. Hen, and the one in the back.
Yeah, okay. You want me to tell you about it? Okay, this is might as well be the strain of the week too.
Okay.
All right, this is a fried chicken batter.
Uh-huh.
All right. You take it, mix some water in it, put it in there. It's very good. All right, it's very good. See how coated the chicken is? It coats the chicken. And I tell you, you don't need but about 4 chicken wings. All right, only do 4. All right,
Two.
Only do 4.
Two
No.
if you're amateur.
Yeah, if you're an amateur, if you're an amateur, just bite the little wing piece off. That's all you need. Okay, but you know what I'm saying. There's no way that anybody could tell me to only eat 1 chicken wing, 2 chicken wings. No, so I had to do 4 chicken wings.
You had to be the one to.
When I ate them chicken wings, y'all, let me tell you. I don't remember nothing that happened to me in the past 48 hours. And y'all know I ain't never sitting down. So in the past 48 hours, it was all just a speedy blur.
Just
you
take
know,
one.
It was just a speedy blur.
One.
So if you scared, call the police. All right?
Don't call
if you need prayer, call the preacher. But check this out. If you need some good chicken that'll make you feel good, call us and get that batter.
That's
888-959-2093. We got cookies. We got drinks. We got chips. We got whatever you want. Check this out. It comes to your door. But that's all that I'm going to tell you about that. Now, that red dust right there is a beverage topper. All right? It's for all my people that like lattes. All my people that like vanilla floats, right? Ice cream products, mainly. All right? Check this out. Hit that red dust. It's a beverage topper. You put that on there, and you sip again, and you sip again, and I'm telling you, the next 48 hours just go.
He is hilarious. I love the way you said that.
It's just gonna ring on by, man. Canna Globe is what that is.
It is exactly. All right. Well, we have our wonderful guest here today, an advocate from the Capitol. I met at the Capitol a couple of years ago, who has a lot to inform us about in the cannabis industry. So we're going to talk to Mr. Chris Brown and find out what's going on in cannabis right here in Georgia. So stay tuned. After this short commercial, we'll be back.
We're going to build a community today. We're going to build a network for these women that feel alone, because that's what trauma does to you. It makes you feel alone. This is Jamie Project is a movement, really, but we organize and document inclusive communities of women to talk about trauma, healing, and medicating cannabis. Our vision is to document 1 million women healing trauma through connection and cannabis. We're going to do that through a variety of mediums, the first of which is the photo activism campaign, black and white photos, women talking about their trauma and saying, I use cannabis as medicine, and I should be able to talk about both of these things. It felt powerful. It also made you feel like you weren't alone. And at the end of it, I almost felt an overwhelming sense of peace. Like everyone was in a safe space, and it was okay to just be. I had a whole bunch of trauma leading up to it, but there was something about that. There was something about really believing that I was going to die. I was walking through the middle of the street with a gun in the back of my head, and I just really thought that they were going to kill me. And so something about that, it broke me, it shook me, it also brought me to me, but that just took a while. Say that anyone's trauma is any different, because it's the way that we carry that trauma and the way that it goes on to inform our adult lives, or really prevents us from living full lives. So we say, bring it. Whatever you feel, it's the thing. Even when we don't know we feel it. We have a thing in us, our intuition, right? And trauma generally puts like so many layers between us and it. and cannabis and just this. I feel like we're able to get to it. So we always know what that thing is that we're struggling with and we might need to speak about. And I feel like we're saying that this is the space.
How do celebrities like Justin Bieber and The Rock generate hundreds of millions of
This was like, wouldn't be Women's History Month without talking about a woman in cannabis. So we have to stop everything that we're doing. If y'all are watching, stop everything that you're doing, and let's honor and let's show this young lady some love. I'm talking about an advocate for cannabis. I'm talking about a go-getter. I'm talking about one who has been a day one that I know of here in Georgia since I've been in Georgia, who have been at the Capitol for every event, hosted several of her own events along with hundreds of others who have went to the Capitol and advocated for cannabis. We owe a special thank you and a warm welcome to this young lady, Erica J. Welcome.
Oh my God. Yo, when they be like, that was a dope intro, like, wow, sis, I appreciate you. You know.
But you know I'm telling the truth.
You know how
We're about to cannabis.
This is a powerful woman in cannabis. Like, if we could give her the cannabis cup right now, she needs an award for being a woman in cannabis. Go ahead and tell them all of the things that you did, because I'm just talking about surface stuff. You know the details, in-depth information. I mean, also she was a student and graduate, so we love you. Thank you.
Went through the class. That's right. That's right.
All right, so tell us.
Oh man, well, thank you again. This is an honor to be here. I mean, it's been a journey. I'm not gonna take up all the time, but I will tell you that I basically started. Well, I've been a consumer for a very, very long time. Okay, and so I like to say that not only do I bring knowledge and business and project management, but I bring the culture, because I've been doing this since before anybody was really talking about legalization in the southern states. You know, we were just out here chancing it like everybody else, you know, and so I'm about that. So that's what I bring. But then when we recognized that this was about to be major, like, so I was too young to participate in the .com boom, you know what I'm saying, and get money from what happened during the .com boom. But I knew the way this was going, that there was going to be an opportunity here for me to really, really invest in something that I participate in. That's what they tell you about investment. If you're going to invest in something that you know about. I knew about it. And so I was like, okay, I started going the investment route, but then I realized there was opportunity in business. I could carry over a skill set. I'm a journalist by trade. I have my degree in journalism and writing and stuff. And so I started off actually writing for a magazine, being the editor of Black Marijuana Magazine. It was a magazine just geared to the culture of Black people in the marijuana space. Thank you. We were coming out actually with a whole Caribbean. We had met somebody down in Grenada, so we were coming out with a whole Caribbean line. It was about to be major. But then anybody in the cannabis space knows that it could be here today, gone tomorrow. And so that's pretty much what happened with the magazine. But I was already in, you know, and it was time to move forward. I had been to a couple conferences. And then I'll never forget, April 420, I met, you know, the wonderful Tiana Smith.
All right.
Shout out to I met her at a Women Grow. Women Grow Atlanta. When she had Women Grow Atlanta. So, you know, the women been in this thing. We've been doing this thing for a long time. So, is that me? Okay, keep going. So we did Women Grow Atlanta, and then she also had Normal Women of Georgia and the Hemp House. So I just joined. I just dove right in.
See all that girl power.
It was strong. Some of the powerful women in this industry. Gia Moreau, Y'all know Chef Lala. She was like a founding member.
Y'all got to come on the show.
Yep.
We want you. We want to talk. Let's do it.
It's definitely a lot of people I've worked with. But it's just been an evolution. And then, come on, man, that same week, I'm in my Texas, because I believe in divine order. And so, really, I met Mecca first.
Look at him. He got the...
You know what I'm saying? That's
Texas.
right. Represent. He got it.
Texas up in this thing. Gang.
Go
You don't jump to put G's on, baby. You don't feel my pain.
Go Dogs.
I'm sorry.
Now, you know, the thing about, we love Georgia. We're here in Georgia. We love Georgia. But anybody from Texas, who be about Texas, know that we love our state. And we are going to represent at all times. So, that's when I met Dr. Yolanda. Yes. I met Mecca. Mm-hmm. And then I thought he was from Texas because he was working with Pimp C. Yeah. He was working with Pimp C's wife on the barbecue sauce. And you know UGK forever. So I thought he was from Texas. Come to find out he was in Atlanta. And we linked up. And then the next day I met you at the Capitol.
This amazing person right
here. We were there for the sign-in. Which one was it?
House Bill 238.
Man, we were there.
Bam.
We were there. We saw it happen. We was live and in person.
We was live, all the way live.
That was the first day I met Stanley Atkins, and then just got acclimated to the space. And then as you continue, so I've just been a part of the evolution over the last 5 years. Like I said, I worked with a couple of organizations. I'm now with Peachtree Normal. I work with Georgia Medical Cannabis Society, Canna Shame Network, Everyday Drinks. I do project management now, Erica J Enterprises. Y'all can always holler at me for project management. That is how I work these days, but I'm never too far away from my passion. So I'm working on a book. I'm still showing, I'm in the cannabis space at all times. So the advocacy work is just going to be necessary because we have to free our people. We ultimately have to get our people free. We have to get people not being locked up for this plant. You know what I'm saying? That's why what Chris does is so important as far as, he's going to tell you, but, passing decrim, like, this the man right here. Like, so, it's 16 counties that really, or 19 counties. 19. No, get me right now. 19 counties that, really owe this man, a vote of gratitude. So I just been moving through the space and really trying to show up where I can show up, help where I can help, spread the message of community, freedom, and culture, and let us never forget who is still today propping this industry up. Yes. You can call them what you want. You can label them what you want. You can try to exclude them what you want. As much as you want, say that they not welcome, but they are propping this industry up across the nation. And I still thank my people in the streets. That's who I'm here for.
There you go.
Legacy.
What's up?
I love it. Mr. Henderson, what do you want to add?
Man, let's get into what Chris got going on.
Yes, all right.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear what my man's got going on.
Let's hear it. Go ahead, Chris. Tell us what you got going on at the Capitol.
Put that work in there, man. Put that work in there, man. Put that work in there.
Yes, sir. So, we got a whole lot going on. It's, of course, it's time for legislative session. We make laws 40 days a year. It's that time. And so we off to a heavy start. It's past crossover day. We have about 6-7 bills that's crossed over. There's a plethora of good conversation around the hemp market. And so we have compliance pieces. It's mostly around compliance. They're changing from oversight to actually having zoning requirements 1,000 feet, very similar to what's going on in the cannabis industry, being close to churches. They wanted to put caps and limits on Delta 8 and Delta 10 and all the other different cannabinoids and derivatives in terms of products. So it's a lot going on in Georgia as it turns to, just like it is in other states when it comes down to the hemp market.
Is it good or bad? Is it good or bad, these changes, man? You don't have to tell too much. But you know what I'm saying, some of our people out there want to know, right? Because like I look on my social media feed, right, I get a bunch of stuff about cannabis, right? But you know what I'm saying, I look on there and I see other states like Florida, who is banning Delta 8 and its derivatives.
Right.
Georgia's right. Georgia's on the way.
Okay, so
Trying to be.
Georgia is trying to do
So
follow
now,
suit.
if Georgia was to get his way, what will happen to the hemp and cannabis market locally?
That's an interesting question. You know, I think the impact hasn't been measured, but we do know as it relates to hemp-derived products, especially in gas stations. They're trying to do heavy regulations around children protections and packaging, false packaging, supposed to be hemp-derived products or cannabis laced products, and so they're trying to use the compliance piece as a scare tactic also. But it is some validity to some of these claims, and we kind of know that piece, and so they're trying to provide regulations, but there's a little bit of overreach versus
Doing too much.
Yeah, doing too much versus seizing the opportunity to expand research and development here in the state of Georgia as it relates to hemp and cannabis.
Or education, like what I offer.
Right. We can't do anything without education. So that's again another part of the problem is where we're having our civic engagement meeting education, meeting compliance. And so therefore we have to kind of balance that scale out. We do have 6 providers that's providing low THC oil here in the state of Georgia. Those dispensaries are opening up around the state of Georgia, but they are offering products with the max of 5% THC. No flower as of yet. And so we need people to get involved and get engaged. We know that people are using alternative products, the Delta 8s, the Delta 10s, especially in the flower form because of the lack of access to clean products that you can buy out of a store during retail. So you're still gonna be in the back on the back street with Ray them trying to get some good product.
So you still might as well keep Ray on speed dial.
Well, how about we just give Ray some education and some economic opportunities and benefits, and then we teach Ray how to, do his thing and whatever it is that he's trying to do, whether it's in the retail space, the cultivating space, just the science of what's going on in cannabis. You know, we don't talk much about that because we just don't, and I think this need to be a common conversation because I operate with retailers and people just in the culture. I see the elders coming in, hey man, you ain't got that other stuff. You know, they looking for something a little stronger. They looking for nephew them, grandson.
Stronger than that 5%, right?
Right, and definitely what they can get access to, you know, with a reasonable price point. And
okay, so you say some more conversation got to be had about it. For those viewers who want to get involved with it, but just don't know where to start. Yeah, they get what they get from watching our show. Yeah, they do. They get a lot of information from watching our show. But from somebody that's actually going down to the Capitol, how does that new person start that conversation, right? Because not everybody's going to jump in the car and ride down to the Capitol on Capitol Day and be like, yeah, gung-ho for cannabis, right? But, you know, because some people have jobs, some people got kids. Hey, man, I just can't get there, man. Y'all had these meetings at 1 o'clock. I can't get there.
Right.
What else can I do?
I always tell people, join an organization. Get involved with an organization that supports this issue, this topic, you know. I run a project, organization called Care for Georgia, which is Cannabis Access, Reform, and Education. I'm always in the community. It's not always cannabis oriented. I'm community oriented. So, you know, when it comes down to taking a plant and crossing these blurred lines, sometimes we call them, we got to have a conversation. It's there to have, there's economic opportunities, there are benefits to the plant itself. There are products. It's so much that it's a new industry and it's a new revenue line item for the state. So let's also not only just look at the opportunity in terms of retail or growing and how I can make money on the consumer end of it. Let's get the expansion to being a new revenue item for the state to be able to provide new benefits like education, supplementing college tuition, creating programs and making sure that federal research and development is able to get more funding into some of these schools to be more attractive to some of these kids who are also enticed by the plan.
And that's what I am fighting against right now. 2-year application in, or a 1.5 year application in, I just went back in my emails and saw that I sent this over a year ago, and I have not received a response from the workforce who's actually supposed to be over allowing the school to provide education and providing the education assistance to those who don't have the funds.
Right.
So we have a lot to talk about in discussing the education, because nobody talks about, like what you just said, if these kids had the education, or if it was allowed to be talked about. Our daughter did a whole the endocannabinoid system for kids book, you know, and it was a breakdown of just what our body has. They talk about the digestive system. My son came home with a printout the other day, and he had to label the parts of the body, right? The brain and stuff. So why isn't it that we are including this when we just, we recently found out that this does exist. This is not something made up. And then finding out how to talk to them about synthetics, because a lot of stuff that's out here is not derived by the hemp, and they're giving it a black eye. So the conversation does need to be here about education, and I'm willing to ask people to help me. Maybe we could write about, you know, coming together for something like that, but we should have a cannabis educational day, you know, just for education. And I'm sure there's others that's come before us, and we want to shout out the Alexis and her father, Coach, for doing this and being the forefrunters for years before we even were thought about, you know, coming to Georgia to make this a big deal. But this is not just a Georgia problem. This is a federal. This is all over. Every 50 state has an issue with cannabis, and the world. So once you think about it like this, there's certain parts of the world that allows cannabis, and there's other parts that don't. So what do you have to say about the cannabis space here, and what we can do to all join together to get a advocacy group, and especially those that are already in existence, to get more people to join those groups, to get more people to become canna friendly or 420 friendly, if you might ask?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely, we have to make it a household conversation. We have to be able to educate people, especially those that's involved in the criminal justice system, which is always the opportunity of people who are already sitting down. You know, I'm sitting down doing nothing because of something that I've done or been accused of doing. So that's an opportunity to also talk about those that's been charged with any type of substance abuse or possession cases. Again, that legacy market, but also to our people at home. We can't make it a conversation that we're trying to run from. Most people accept it because I just want to smoke weed. But I know people that's younger and younger smoking weed. Most cases, the person get hemmed up, they got some weed, but it's a therapeutic. And it's a reason. It's post-COVID. And so we know with COVID, in terms of the guidelines, in terms of what's already been published, on how that affected people, especially people in disproportionate communities, especially people of color. Again, we have an opioid epidemic. We had a pandemic. We just coming out of a pandemic. The levels of trauma is at an all-time high, and nobody's talking about it because we make it shameful to walk around as if we're normal when we're going through things. The housing market, people have lost their jobs, people are underpaid, and prices are going up, and it's not shifting. So there's a lot of things going on, and people turn to cannabis also as a therapeutic. So sometimes, as a patient myself, I'm gonna put myself there and say, hey, if it wasn't for cannabis and me being a patient and understanding how to provide balance, the work that I do at high levels would not happen, and the creativity and solution-driven pieces would not happen because it can get stressful. Whether you're ashamed to say that you use or partake or have, then use that hemp for a cover-up then, because again, that's why we should explore the cannabinoids, because again, I learned that even with COVID that, most people with COVID had a cannabinoid deficiency. So we can get real technical with this piece, especially as we talk about the pandemic.
We talked about that.
Yeah. The president just said in the State of the Union that, we're going to use the vaccine to explore for research for cancer. Well, if we can use the vaccine, it's just something that's still fairly new. And so, cannabis in the University of Oregon has already been able to do the research that tells you that the cannabis blocks out the COVID protein. So why not do more exploration around what that can provide, putting the investments in that space, just the same way we did the pandemic and the
He
vaccine.
make a lot of money on that vid. He
Which
make
was
a lot
also
of
an
money on
essential
that vid.
business during
His friends
COVID.
make a lot of business.
Business
His
deals
friends make a lot of business.
Right.
You know, and for cannabis, at the same time that we're presenting business opportunities, there are industries that's losing business too.
Right.
And those people that's losing revenue on that,
Coming over to cannabis.
of course they not gonna tell you all the benefits of
No.
cannabis. Of
No.
course they not.
No.
If I owned a paper mill and you want to grow some hemp next beside me, you think I'm gonna let you grow that hemp beside me?
And grow
And
that-
I've been
really
running
happened.
a 30-year-old paper mill. Come on.
So we understand that there's a conundrum here. There's a
Quite a bit.
financial conundrum
Quite a
because
bit.
people that are making money already and have made money for years,
Right.
okay,
Right.
from this being illegal. The judges, the DA, the CIA,
Judges,
the
police,
the
the
let's
you
just
know,
go down the
It's a lot of
list.
people that benefit
Industry.
from keeping it illegal, right? It's a lot of people. But then at the same time, if that 30-year-old paper mill would say, "Hey man, let's explore this as a real viable renewable resource," all
Right.
right? Because the hemp paper gonna last you a whole lot longer than that wood paper. And guess what? And you ain't cut down all them trees.
And it's a soil remediator.
You see
It's
what
the
I'm saying?
soil,
And so,
environmental protectant.
Right.
You know?
but the
Come
person
on.
at the paper mill know this already.
Better believe it.
All right, he ain't getting told nothing new, right? Because ain't nothing new up under the sun. My grandma used to say, "Ain't nothing new up under the sun. It's all the same."
And
Right.
they have tried to make it seem like it's about the kids. And that's what I'm going to
don't
talk
care about
about.
no
Just
kids.
just for 1 second, y'all.
trying to
We know
purchase
that's a
your
lie.
We
lives.
look. Let me tell you how much my kids get. I give them $5 or $1, and they go into the store. What's the first thing they gonna buy?
Candy.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Thank
Candy.
you.
Drugs.
Sugar.
It's
Nasty
a
as
drug.
Sugar.
Thank you. We don't have no regulation, no oversight over the candy, and they come home and they turn into little
Monsters.
No,
And
no,
they-
because it generates a substantial income. Whereas cannabis right now is not generating a substantial income, which we talk about that all the time in the business of cannabis seminar that we have. We talk about how much revenue is actually generated from these industries, right? So like if you take a product like sugar, sugar is in everything.
Right.
high
Everything.
fructose corn
So,
syrup,
right.
glucose,
It's in there some kind of
fructose,
way.
lactose.
Right.
Everything with the toast in it is
French
sugar.
toast.
Right. And how many different providers of sugar is there?
Right.
It ain't but 3.
A
ain't but
monopoly.
3.
When we talk about
So
monopoly,
I'm saying it ain't but 3. Domino. There's another one that's
Dixie Crystal.
the crystals, right? It ain't but 3. All right?
that we know
And,
of.
and
right?
they giving you sugar everywhere in all 50 states, just like it ain't nothing.
Well, we're going to give you some hemp everywhere.
Right,
need some hemp everywhere.
and I'm not talking about it to make it seem like hemp is compared to sugar on that level to where they're synthetics,
Even if you
because we
compare
know
them
that
as
people
agriculture,
can
it's
make.
still, hemp is still better, even if you compare them to on an agricultural thing.
Well, yeah, but we're
Sugar
talking
comes
about
from
the
a sugar
stuff that's
cane.
coming from China and the stuff that's they saying that is not good for them.
Yeah.
Okay, but they can stop that kind of stuff if they can stop the illegal stuff from coming in and getting in here. I mean, they don't stop sugar, but I'm just saying.
Buddy, money changes things.
Yeah.
And so money make you change your mind. At least for a minute. At least.
Drug dealer looks like changes minds too.
Well, you're not a real drug dealer anyway, so that's not the drug dealer.
where my bell?
You're not looking for that drug dealer.
Well,
you?
I'm saying,
I'm saying you
the
can get
sugar
a.
people is
Talk about the
drug
sugar.
dealers.
They-
I'm
they-
Well, I
saying
ain't got nothing against the
the
sugar folks,
United
but
States
sugar folks gonna do their thing.
government
Long till
You
let
know
the
what?
hemp in.
The medical companies
Yes,
is drug dealers.
diabetes
Right.
is like the number
They-
one
they
killer of the
drug dealers.
African
Look at all
American
the
You better
families.
stop. I didn't know.
Look at all the
I
medicines.
ain't fooling with you.
Look at
I
all
ain't
the
fooling with
medicines
you.
that treat sugar-related illnesses, right?
Yeah, I'm a diabetes
Just listen to
educator.
that.
I'm supposed to know this stuff.
Just listen to that for a
We
second.
know they
You
free.
diabetic, You diabetic because you done ate too much sugar, right? Now you diabetic, right? Your diabetes,
Childhood
medication is
obesity.
high. Some of your health insurance on the job ain't gonna cover it, right? Because they still banning pre-existing conditions.
So the name of this show is holistic. So we don't have enough holistic conversations about the truth. We don't have enough holistic conversations about what are you going to do about it, because I can tell you right now is that when you look into the audience of this room, and I'm going to make sure that we start sharing some of this information so that you can see the ratio of people that are cannabis related or look like black and brown people or having these conversations versus people who are going to be nice and suited and don't look like us sometimes. And it's not a racial thing, but I'm just saying that the conversations are definitely yielding different outcomes in terms of the conversation. And so we have to be able to continue to articulate ourselves about the scientific advancement of this plant, this holistic plant. It's at the Congress to outlaw alcohol.
Right.
And so it never was outlawed for cannabis. And so I think that even for the people in Georgia should have more conversation to your president, who's trying to appeal to voters about this, but at the same time, you should be asking or demanding that some things happen to help these states. I think that sometimes when we read between it, and I hate having this conversation because it kind of draws division because of party lines. And so me just being issue based, I was a part of the group that created the first ever National Cannabis Party, which is the first political party dedicated to cannabis, with co-founder Redman, who've done a lot of advocacy over the years with his career, could have been jeopardized. People who've taken those chances to make sure that we've been pro-plant, even when it wasn't cool to do. Shout out to Snoop Dogg and the Wiz Khalifa's of the world. But at the same time, what was they hollering? Medical. Medical. Like we gotta get out of the adult use, recreation.
Responsible use.
Listen, there's no such thing as adult use or recreation. That is an artificial.
Just give me my shit, man. Watch out, man.
It's all medical. And so unless you want high barrier to entry and higher taxes, then you want to have a medical program. And Georgia's in position right now to have a medical program that resembles an adult use program by utilizing research and development, decriminalizing statewide, and simply adding flowers to the registry would put us over into a program that people can buy into. The research around consumables, how we consume, how much we're able to consume, our illnesses that we have. Listen, again, they said that we just came out of a pandemic. Everybody has PTSD subjectively.
Ooh, everybody.
Everybody
need a card. You get a card. I'll be the Oprah of cards.
Is everybody? But my question is everybody applying?
So
does everybody know where to go get the card?
So I will say that early on, like in 2017 when we did the decrim situation, of course I became a big advocate around signing up to be patients. There was a little push there, and part of the benefit was because, especially around the legacy market, when you have patients that are also has convictions or have prior records that are on probation or parole, one of the number one things that people get violated for is
position.
Dirty
play.
Yep.
That dead piss. So one thing about it is some of the protections of being a patient and understanding about patient advocacy is that you protected yourself from being able to even be subject to that drug test because you was a patient, whether it's the oil or whatever your intake method was. Even though in Georgia you can possess up to 20 ounces of fluid oil at any one time. At any one time. I'm a caregiver for my mom, so I have to sometimes go pick up her supply. I can carry 20 ounces, and I can go home, and I can help ration out the dosage and how much I carry on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I tell people you don't leave your high blood pressure medicine at home.
Right.
So I have to be able to carry my little utility kit, but we need better access.
Yeah.
And if Georgia's able to get this right, we will be a fun man. Listen, everybody's waiting on Georgia right now. Everybody's waiting on Georgia.
We're watching Florida. What we doing watching Florida?
Look, we ain't watching nobody.
Watching Florida.
Florida done got rid of the immigrants and got rid of the help. Yeah, I mean, look, y'all.
They got rid of DEI.
They done got rid of education.
Black history.
Hey man.
If you should leave college.
And y'all are trying to look at
Florida.
Florida
got rid of Florida. It ain't even the same no more. They need to get rid of Rick.
Hey, man, so
that part. No, we're not looking at Florida. They trash. We want to try to. That wasn't diplomatic. I'm working on.
hey, it's okay. It's trash.
I'm sorry. I'm working on it.
No, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But seriously, we're having an event in the morning.
Okay.
And it's about hemp education and
What time in the morning?
It's at 9:30.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm at work.
Yeah, 9:30. So you at work, but guess what's happening?
What can I do about it?
What's going on? Because we can call in.
Tell somebody to go for you.
Yeah.
Tell somebody to go for me.
Yeah, tell somebody to please tap in. Hey, man, go on down there and check out what's going on. Bring me the information. But if you just so happen can't make it, you can always tune in to careforga.org, and then we try to give updates on what's going on. So if you go on the site, it kind of gives you a little history. If you go from top to bottom, a little flavor, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. So you can kind of .org. Yeah, not the government now. I hope a check come with that.
Organization.
Yeah, go check that out, man.
But yeah, check it out. Come check us out, man. We're there trying to bring more awareness. We're coming out to a community near you. We're going to start doing some pop-up stuff because it's very serious. And just know that we fund this out of our pocket. And just in doing outreach and awareness. But we partner with smoke shops and wellness centers and places and businesses in the community so that we can provide more education. And people like Dr. Yolanda, who always is on the forefront trying to advocate to get more and is always standing on business and standing on good education. Right. You know what I mean? You got to come get some of this good education now because you got to be armed with the knowledge. They can't take that from you. So as long as you're an armed patient, hey, man, they better watch out.
There you go. Because I got medical records. They don't want to play with me. You know what I'm saying? It's been legal in your country for years.
I'm a sovereign nation unto myself. You have to catch me when you catch me.
That part. I might not stop.
Well, you know, and that's where prohibition went wrong. That's what is going to happen. I mean, they want us to fund the DEA. We might as well write them a check for their payroll for the whole year. You know, because this is something that is going to hinder, you know, the whole situation here, especially with hemp. I mean, we have hemp-derived products. We get these through Canaglobe, and these products are wonderful for adults. I mean, for kids, I don't test them on my kids, but I do know for sure that kids have an endocannabinoid system. When our baby was born and she was used with forceps and she had a brain injury, we were able to give her CBD and cannabis oil. So why is it that we're...
And that's what kicked off this medical program here in Georgia.
That's what got
for the children.
Hey, right. Man, they said the kids going in the store. They 8 years old. They going to get them Reese cups. They said they got the other kind of Reese cups.
Yeah. They done made a whole movie in Texas. I don't want to tell you how Texas is doing. Well, they are doing the hemp bad.
We understand the problems that come along with our state. Okay.
But listen. Be an advocate.
Propaganda.
Be an advocate for your kids because guess what? There's no age limit on being a patient.
No, it's not.
Right.
So just understand that part.
My baby was less than 6 months. She was given, you know, the oil. So
the canna baby.
Yeah, she's a canna baby. You know, there's a lot of them all over this country.
Right.
So when they talk about that there's people dying.
What you giving that baby that cannabis for? Just shut up.
Well,
just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. When you have some kids, then you can tell me about mine. Shut your mouth. I have no problem. I have no problem.
Doctors.
Talk about
message.
No problem.
Okay. Take that with y'all.
Yeah.
But I was like just going to speak upon the educational piece because we have to be so intentional with the education because like so much of what's going on today, there's misinformation given intentionally. A doctor today at the Capitol.
Not a black
coat. Look, I don't pretend to know what levels of doctorate or whatever. He was referenced as a doctor, and this person who was referenced as a doctor said that One person
every 3 days.
Every 3 days dies in Colorado
from
of
THC. A THC.
Like, now
related.
understand what this man is saying. This man went in front of the committee and said that the state of Colorado.
But he had a package though. Didn't he have a packet in his hand?
He said he got a red and a yellow package.
Okay, I know.
We did not get the package.
Okay, we didn't get the package.
We gotta figure out what's in that package.
Y'all know what's in that package? One of them is more money than the other. One of them is more money than the other.
You got paid for that. You better stop, doctor, giving us a bad name.
One person every 3 days. Like, this is the kind of misinformation that people are boldly standing.
I'd be dead right now then.
Yeah,
I mean, we all be dead.
Denver would be done. Like how Simply Pure would be out of business. The strip would be done. Like, come on.
But there's a black market that exists, and I don't want to say we want to use the scare tactics, but that's sometimes what it is, a scare tactic. And so therefore we got request to have common sense policy. Common sense policy. You have to get involved. You have to sometimes come down. You have to take that time off and come on down sometimes. So we're in crossover. The last day of session is next Thursday. We're fighting. We can't fight this alone. You know what I mean? Again, we're doing our best to do what we can do. We're there. Yeah. And so we're just asking that you tap in, that you donate, that you give back, that you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend that it's some stuff going on, and you follow some good folks in the cannabis space, and they need to tune in and share this feed, share this show with a friend, to tell a friend, and just get involved again. And even when session's over with, hopefully we come out on top. But just know that we could have did more with your help.
Exactly. Right. And so we're seeing that there's more cannabis consumers or 420 people in this state. So we just want to invite everybody who sees our show, who is in the cannabis space, that don't have time, make tomorrow that time. If you don't make any other day, this is the last day for the crossover or the recess.
We already had crossover, but they had so Thursday they will hear this bill. It's HB 1322. But if you go to careforga.org, there's a tab that says legislative watch list.
Okay.
Look at the tab that says crossover watch list. So these are bills that was introduced in session. Okay. Got to the midway point. Some bills died. Some crossed to the next chamber. Okay. It takes a bill to cross over to the chamber to be approved. Once crossing over its chamber of origin, to be considered to be a bill. And we got to next Thursday to get whatever bills passed, fail, not passed, favorable, not favorable, through to go to the governor desk. He has 40 days to sign. Okay.
And what do you say about the bill? One more time for the record.
Trash.
All right. And what do you feel? You've already said.
I like to leave the opinions up to the experts, but what I will tell you is that we're nitpicking, and you know that's what's happening, and so that's why the bills are so important, right? Because you have to find out what's happening in the nitpick. Yes, we all want to free the plant. We all want full plant coverage. You know, we want to have full plant access is what I'm trying to say. But you got to nitpick. You got to see, the devil is in the details. You got to see what's going on in the details, and you got to make noise. So I want y'all to know from this point out, if you hear me talk about the cannabis community, I mean everybody who goes to the Capitol, to everybody who cut checks, everybody getting money, to every consumer. If you smoke weed, do weed, edibles, drink weed, Canaglobe, if you are a consumer on a daily, if you are a once in a while consumer, if you are using topicals, you are a part of the community, and you are needed. 85% of the people in Georgia want total plant legislation, and we want, what is it called? I'm working on my jargon, y'all, okay? Just bear with me.
What they want?
They want the decrim.
They want full decrim and full access?
Full decrim.
We want safe access.
And safe access.
There you go.
85% of the people in the state of Georgia want it. That's not everybody who's in business. That's not all the legislators. So we want all the 85% to show up.
Yes.
and show them that we are serious.
That's it.
And we want this plan, and we want safe access, and we want our people home.
I wonder what would happen if those 85% of the people that you're talking about didn't vote.
Well, that's how we got the information for those voters. What if we had more people to vote? You know what I mean? It's there already, but why aren't we talking more about this? Why aren't we using our voting power? Why again, just understanding the politics side of things. Politics is driven by money.
Yeah.
And money is a resource.
Right.
And when you take these resources and you put them in, it can affect outcome. But you also have political and social capital as well. So you have to leverage what you don't got.
Right.
And so when having these conversations, we want to have the whole conversation, because sometimes we want just the access conversation, and we want to fight the compliance pieces. But Georgia has to have a comprehensive plan to where we're going, and how can all benefit. How can the money come back for community benefit to help in areas that we say that's impacted most impacted. But what are those things? That's local, right? So that means your local politicians has to get involved just as well. They're responsible for your zoning laws once you have a program. So let's just continue to have more conversation and dialogue. We're going to have more things in these safe places. You know, I mean, I've been in a church with some legislators and had a cannabis conversation in the church. So that, you know, I mean, I've been some places, and I'm saying don't be afraid to have it in those places. A little short story. I had a friend that was, this is a few years back, and we went into a church, and it was like 7:30 in the morning. I wanted to try to meet the pastor before he went and did his sermon and stuff. And so they said, come on in the morning time. They served breakfast, and got our little breakfast. We got our plate. So he an older guy, so he being extra friendly, you know. Yeah, man, you know, you got the hemp industry. I said, oh my God, we ain't here talking about this stuff. So I go to the next table. But the guy told the guy, he said, come here, man, come here. I said, oh Lord, I'm finna just put my head down. I don't even want to be around. But when he brought me in closer, he was a hemp user, oil user. He was ordering off Amazon, and he was using the hemp oil off Amazon, and he was talking about how his doctor said his blood pressure was phenomenal, and whatever he was doing to keep doing it, and you know, I mean, his vitals was all like of a young person. So again, as we talk about this plant and we talk about the opportunities, we talk about everyday holistic usage as a part of your daily supplements.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, let's get involved and get engaged. We know smoking is the most common intake method. We know that we like that good expedited feeling, you know what I mean? That feeling of euphoria. Like, I just want to chill out. Like,
yeah.
I'm straight. Yeah, man. But sometimes
homeostasis is the goal.
Hey, man, but we need it, because this week, just to be honest, and it's actually alarming to me about the number of people who have been notified that has cancer. I'm talking about, this is real. Like, I'm talking about just in the last 2 weeks, I know at least about 5 people. And I'm talking about, and these are just extended people. I have a homegirl of mine who said that I hadn't talked to her, because I ain't talked to you. Man, I just been going through it, man. Stuff's going good, but my mama got stage 4 cancer. She had lung cancer. They said they spread it to her back, to her neck. And so what do you do? What do you tell a person like that? My uncle friend, same thing. They just told him today he had 2 years to live. Oh no. And he had stage 4 cancer. So again, I know people that's really going through it, that needs to be able to go to spaces, and we need to be able to create spaces that not hide, not try to go, you know what I mean? Like, we got to create that holistic space, and we got to put it in the language. So that's one of my goals, is making sure that we craft out a sector of community that is underrepresented. And if we don't do it, then ain't nobody else gonna do it. I'm just letting you know now. There's nothing that's attributing to the Black and brown community or holistic community that's gonna give you space and opportunity to operate. They're putting laws in that's gonna prevent you, because you just you're not a part of that exempt class, or there's no regulations that allow you to operate within the framework. So that's where we at now. This is what we have to do. We got about a week to get it done. We got a lot of writing to do. We got a lot of organizing to do. Tap into the show. Tell a friend to tell a friend again.
Yes.
It's real. Like just hit the share button now.
Yes.
Don't even wait. Just hit it now and just get it on out the way.
Look, I'm not up here because I think I look good. I promise you. You know.
But you do. But you do.
promise you. This has much more to do. I'm on here every week just about. I can't even tell you the money that we invest in this show in order to make sure that everybody is made aware of what's going on in the cannabis industry, not just in Georgia. Even though Georgia, we live here, we eat here, our babies here, we had kids born here. Just because there is so much going on that everybody needs to be informed about when it comes to this space. It's not just about us. It's about the person on the street that has cancer. It's about the person who has MS. It's MS Awareness Month. It's about those who look like us, who act like us, who's been impacted because fathers have been taken out of the homes. Moms have been displaced. We've had to deal with things that everybody else have not been able to deal with. And it just behooves me that my people who are called by my name have not gotten up to do more than what they're doing. Sitting behind those preaching or those pulpits, whatever you want to call it, and not standing up for our communities, for the success of our people, for the success of those who look like us that is trying to have businesses. I mean, the discrimination that I've gone through with the business alone is just what's going on here. And we need to talk about it. We need to not just talk about it, be about it. Because I'm the one I'm going to put actions behind what I talk about. And make things happen. If anybody know me, they know when Yolanda put her name to doing something, she's going to do it, and she's going to do it with all her might. You don't have to tell me twice. I understood the assignment a long time ago. It's some
Pork
of us
chops, gravy, and rice.
I know, right? I know there's some people who are scared. Maybe this is not for you, and you don't feel like you're gonna lose your job or you're gonna lose your livelihood. But guess what? We're all gonna lose if they win. Every last one of us. And I'm talking about trickling down to generational. We're trying to make generational wealth here. We're trying to feed our kids' kids. I don't know if y'all believe in the generational wealth, but I do. I have 8. So that means that I have to build something for each and last one of them. And I don't have time to scam. I'm about my business because it is my business to be about the future's business. Because they're the future. Our children are the future. Your nieces and nephews are the future. And then if we don't do it, who's going to do it? We have already had a generation who, let us down. We don't need to do that no more. We need to be that generation. And that's why we need you out here tomorrow and the next day. And the next day I've been I was at the Capitol 2 days in a row for events. And I'm disabled, but I don't make that about that. I make it about being available because this is the business. This is everybody's business. This should be on MSNBC. I don't know why we're just stuck at this network. Not just say nothing, Jack. This is the future of global television. But why isn't that we're on mainstream television having these conversations with the politicians and talking about how we can be better in our communities and finding out that cannabis does help people instead of harm people? Hemp milk is one of the best milks that you could drink. Hemp seeds, it has all the omega properties. Why don't we have that conversation instead of talking about, well, kids are going to get this packaging? And yes, that's sad. But how are y'all allowing this when you allow the band or somebody to come in at a cigarette and buy a cigarette? They have to be 21 and what? They have to be old enough to purchase these things. How is a kid able to purchase this?
They're not
I think
talking
that's
about
something fake. Like who makes this stuff up? How is a kid going into a grown-up establishment and picking up grown-up products and no grown-ups is saying anything?
Well,
get that out of here.
Some of your gas stations just ain't checking that ID how they need to.
I'm not gonna let no 5-year-old buy no gummy rocks.
Yeah,
First of all, listen,
5 years old, you ain't buying nothing.
and they ain't going in there without their parent.
Right.
Unless you're just in a neighborhood store and it's a convenience store and it's behind the counter, which means that they didn't just go randomly pick it up because it's on the counter. They went and picked it up because somebody gave it to them.
Thank you.
Right.
And so
and that's the issue.
And so therefore, again,
Line on
and
the
to be honest, there's a need for some compliance. Again, I think there's a compliance overreach, and I think that what you're trying to do, you're trying to put more weight on this side than putting the balance and saying this is what's really happening. This is what's really going on. It's these people that we're catching, or it's these people. But just know that it's all an outcome piece. People, if it's about supply and demand and the invisible arm that's moving, that demand that says, hey, this is my arm. This is a cannabis arm. The cannabis arm said go this way. I need more of this, or if I need THCA, I can get THCA. I can feel like THCA. Okay, it's Delta 9. I don't even know what Delta 9 is. Oh, but hold on, it's just all those conversations that I get questions about that people randomly ask, but they're gonna try it because guess what? It looked like what we know as weed or marijuana or cannabis as we call it. It smell like weed and it smell real fruity. I mean, like this the weed that we know that's in the hood. Smoke like trash.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's all black at the end. You seeing all the chemicals and stuff that's all burning off. So when I tell certain people on knowing how to look at and test your product and what you're looking for, that's education.
Fentanyl in it now. I'd be scared. I'll be scared. I'm just like, here, give me Canna Glow, something that's been tested and I already know it's third party. You know, I can sue somebody for this. You know what I'm saying? So
I say, remember, they could if they wanted to. They don't want to. So what you gonna do with that?
Well, you better get involved and find out who's not in your favor.
Who not with it.
And then you better pick the other person. Pick the other person.
The other person.
Right. But this the thing though. This the thing with politics, man. A pair of lips will tell you anything. A pair of lips will tell you anything. Cause I remember when Cory Booker and your vice president
Kamala
lady chick was all like, for the weed, for the cannabis, for the change of this and for the change of that.
And
that lady ain't said weed 2 times since she got in that jump.
Well. She just said it the other day. She got fat. She said it the other day. She
said it the other day because it's time to vote. She said the other day because it's time to vote.
So I'm gonna be 1,000 just because I'm in this space, and I mean I've been one of those people that have offered myself for service, and I want to say that we put too much power on one person. Don't assume if I was an elected official that I know everything. Don't assume that I can go fight the establishment on certain things and you not even be there. So at least be there to say what you want, so I can say, hey man, these folks on me, and you know these
march on Washington.
This would be a million blunts.
I mean, that would be amazing because DC
so listen.
So that would be phenomenal. Come on, organize. Come on, get us to DC. A million blunt march. Come on, man.
We need 1 million blunts to be passed around by the gold dog. We need 1 million blunts. Of all different strains.
Oh, you heard it here first.
So what the call is, what I hear is, we are looking for, and I want to do this part here.
Yeah.
And I want to challenge our hemp providers, our hemp growers. We got to find the address.
Yeah.
Get us the product.
Yeah.
Paper providers.
Yeah.
Blunt providers.
Yeah.
Glass providers.
Yes.
Get us the apparatuses.
Yeah.
And we going to march.
Oh,
That part.
So
I love 1 million blunts.
Come on.
What I'm saying is, and guess what though, man? I talked to Big Gil from Goody Mob before we left the Capitol, and I said, man, listen, Gil, we got to do something because we've been too quiet. I say we got to look at what we want, and we got to bring the people together.
Right.
And if we just showed up and just so happened walk down the Capitol, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I was guilty, me and a good friend of mine. I said, listen, we've been out in the Capitol all day. It's crossover. I stood on the corner of Washington and Mitchell, and we put one in the air.
Yeah.
And it was a state trooper behind us.
He was waiting for his turn.
Listen, I seen some folks walking out. I said, all right, bro. I said, all right, bro, here we go.
Thank you.
I said, I just got one question. Who going, me or you?
That part.
So I just need to know now. He said, man, I'm on probation. I said, say less, I take it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, that's what you have to do these days is that when you know that you're doing something that you know, the state police play a little different. And we stand on the corner, so I just noticed how things sometimes can go wrong. But sometimes you gotta be willing to stand up for something, or you'll fall for anything. You know, I was taught a little different. So I'm with me, Nova, and Liberty Plaza. I'm with standing on the corner, Washington Mitchell, or going along Washington, anywhere in the corridor of the Capitol.
Because if they start this ban, that's what's gonna happen. We got to do it. Like, it's past time.
Hey man, so I think that's a call to action.
That's a call to action.
So too.
You think that's a call to action? My guy here say he got a vending machine coming.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm talking about.
My boy Ben, the CEO.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Well, tell him to send us some product then.
Yeah.
And we don't want that trash.
We don't want that trash.
Coalition
But
building,
nah.
guys.
I think we
This
need
is
y'all on
what-
the show next
This
week.
is
We
what
could keep
the
y'all
man
coming.
is talking about, coalition building.
That part
There you
right
go.
there.
Yeah.
Right there.
COA's on everything.
On
Yeah.
everything.
And COAs is a certificate of what?
Of analysis.
Yeah.
Analysis. We got analysis on our product.
That's
so
it.
that's what we call safe
Thank
access.
you.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna pick a date, man. We're gonna come back to the show whenever y'all have us up.
Okay.
We ain't
Yes,
got
y'all are
we ain't got but
welcome.
a week, but if I have to FaceTime in or something,
you
or,
go.
you know,
Man, you gotta keep
Yes,
on.
we got
So-
it.
You
We got
gotta
it.
keep on.
And you know, 420 is on the map. I know a few organizations don't have anything planned. There's still some time to
Come
hey
to
man, we
Vegas.
ain't gonna wait to know
Come to
420.
Vegas.
No,
Could-
it's a
could-
post activity. I'm just
No, we with that too.
Yeah, I'm
Today
just,
is tomorrow is 220. I mean 320.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
we got
tomorrow
a
is 320. I better see you at the Capitol so that we can get the 420 to
That's
celebrate.
right, so we can do 420. He has to be there for 320 so we can have a 420.
Come on.
420 is gonna be a real party because we
There you
celebrate what we just did.
There you go. And so
Hey, Coretta.
there you go. All right, Martin and Coretta, come on, let's get it together. I love it. I love it.
I support
All
it.
right.
There's no
So
Rosa Parks here.
there you go. We support. So we gotta march. Martin, we're gonna do this thing, okay? So we got this going on. All right, so let's do the march and let's get prepared for tomorrow. And then in other news, we have just a quick reference to what's going on. We have the cannabis socials every Sunday. And if you all could come out to those things, and these are just to get familiar with everybody that's in the industry. Then we are celebrating again Women's History Month. If you all celebrate a women's business, okay? There are so many women-owned businesses. Erica named a couple of that's in the cannabis space. Rest in peace to the member of the Gap Band. He passed away, and we just want to send out our condolences at the age of 60. All right. And then we're looking for volunteers, you guys. So if you all are interested in volunteer work, or you need some hours, or if you just want something to do, we need volunteers. And these are like on weekends at the amphitheater there in Alpharetta, Georgia. All right. So we talk about the 6 ways to celebrate Women's History Month. And you all see that there. We also have a 420 special going on. This is inevitable that we get this opportunity. So it used to be the classes were $8.99. Now we are doing the classes. 3 people can join from now until 420 for the price of 1. So 3 of you guys, 2 of your friends get together, join. Ain't that a good deal?
Yes.
That is a good deal.
Hey man, where I sign up?
I signed up on 420.
You signed up on
When I
420.
did my classes, I sure did.
There you go. So now you can
Be
get the
active on
opportunity. You have to get your own book, but you can take that 3-for-1 price and into your 420 celebration and be certified by 420. So that's what we have, a state approval to certify, and we're just excited about that opportunity in that promotion. So we had our lunch with the ladies in Canaglobe this past Friday. So I just want to shout out the ladies of Canaglobe, myself included, Miss Romathea Webster and Miss Debbie Green, and of course Mr. Keith Williams. We were all in the house, and they had a wonderful Zoom call, and then we also were at the Canaglobe event on this past Sunday, which is our Sunday social. And you see how many people showed up for these socials. This is what we need at the Capitol. We need these people to come to the Capitol, because I've never seen these people at the Capitol before. If this same momentum was at the Capitol, we all could get stuff done. So we just need to have more of these social events, and that's why I talked about social life and cannabis, because these socials mean a lot to our advocacy and getting people educated. All right, so big shouts out to my boys. They invited Mama to the Mama Son ball, and that was great. And I had just had a great time. So shouts out to my boys. Yes. All right. And then March 31st, we're talking about colon cancer awareness. This is the day for colon cancer, so that you are aware. Now, I just want to throw in something real quick about the cannabis industry. Cannabis helps with cancer. And I'm making claims, but I do know that a lot of people have benefited from cancer, and cannabis and for cancer. So it is one of the qualifying conditions. If you have or know someone who has cancer, hurry up and get them a card. All right. And our newsletter for the month. If you all know or don't know, we have our wonderful spotlights. Our classes start every week. If you want to be a business member, please reach out to us. We are spotlighting businesses every month, and this month goes to Mr. Henderson and Big Shot Entertainment, having his artists and showcasing his artists. And we're just so lucky to have had all of you who have joined as members and continue to support the cause. This is what it does. It helps support our broadcast and different things like that in the community, education, and overall health and wellness. So please join us. If you have don't have the number to call us, it's 1-888-959-2093. And we want to say a big thank you for our guests for joining us today and coming out to speak on the cannabis industry here in Georgia. And we want you all to see us back again next week. So again, go out tomorrow to the Capitol and share your love, share your support, and let the politicians know that we will stand up. All right?
Standing on business.
There you go. We will stand up on business. All right. So thanks again for watching. And until next week, same time or on Sunday from 5 to 6, tune in and hope you have a good night. Peace.